We're going to run numerous scenarios on Kathy and when she should take Social Security to prove once and for all if she should take it at 62, 66, or 70. And we're going to run a bunch of different scenarios, reinvesting the assets, and just it's going to be fun. So this will be divided up in a couple videos for sure. So make sure you make sure you watch the following ones as we do, because this is going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to doing it for sure. All right, so the premise is, Kathy is 62 today. She just turned, or she's going to turn 62 in October. And the reason for that is because Social Security usually needs a month in advance before you get your first check. So here we are in August. She has her Social Security paper and she goes, when should I take Social Security? And the paper says, her Social Security statement says, if she takes it at her full retirement age, it will be $2,000 a month. Her full retirement age, because she's born before 1960, in this case is 66 years old. In some months. So we're going to just round it up and say 66. Or if she takes it at 62, it'll be $1,500. So 66, 2,000, 62, 1,500. Or if she waits until she's 70, it'll be 2620, right? 2620 or 2680. I always forget. So we go 2,000 times 1.3, oops, 1.32, 2640, 2640. So she'll either take that her full retirement age, her PIA is $2,000 a month. Take it now at 62, it'll be $1,500 a month, or wait until she's 70, in which will be $2,640. Now the drawback about this, as she's looking at her statement, said when should I take it, is it doesn't talk about the cost of living adjustments, and that's what we're going to use. We're going to show using the Right Capital software where the COLAs come into play, because if she just says I'm going to wait until I'm going to take it now because it's $1,500. As opposed to 2,000 at my full retirement age, she's missing out on the fact that their cost of living adjustments will still grow on top of the $1,500 a month she takes now will grow at 2.6. On top of the delaying until she's 66, those cost of living adjustments will grow from 2,000 to whatever it is. We'll show you. And on top, if she waits until she's 70, those cost of living adjustments are going to grow as well. And it's different because the bigger you have later on, the more the cost of living adjustments grow in terms of real dollars. So it's just hang in there. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here in just a second using the Right Capital software. But that's the premise. I can guarantee you most people, when they run break-even analysis on their Social Security, do not look at the cost of living adjustments. They don't, and because of that, they're wrong. They're just dead wrong when they're looking at their break-even analysis. They're just looking at it as a static number. $1,500 today, 2,000 is 5 years from now, 4 years from now, or 2640 8 years from now, and they're not adjusting it with the cost of living adjustments, and that's, you're making a horrible mistake. I guarantee that's happening for many of you guys. Don't do this. All right, so again, we're going to use the Right Capital software because it shows everything. If you want access to it, I charge $150. You have unencumbered access to it. You do whatever you want. I don't give any personal tutorials. Tons of videos on my channel on Right Capital software. Right Capital has its own a YouTube channel. I forgot what it was, but just look under Right Capital. It's probably Right Capital, and you can find all kinds of tutorials there as well. All right, so let's dive into this first and foremost. So again, we're going to start with the premise of Kathy has her Social Security statement right here, and she's thinking when she should take it. All right, so we're going to start with the premise. I got a bunch of spreadsheets here we'll dive into as well. And where she has no cash flow, no net worth, no nothing. All right, so all we're doing is saying, when should Kathy take Social Security? She has no expenditures. We'll just say she's, I don't know, she grows her own vegetables and has her own utility plant that so she has no expenditures. No expenditures, no income. No expenditures, no income. Does that make sense? All right, so let's go into the dashboard here, and we're going to show you what, or the profile here. And all we're going to do, we're going to, we're going to go to income, excuse me. We're going to go to income. And again, here is she has no income, no nothing. Again, she has no assets, no income, no liabilities, no nothing. We're just going to compare apples to apples. So here is her Social Security, her PIA at $2,000 a month at 66, her primary insurance amount. But we're going to start at age 62. All right, so let's see what it looks like. So now we're going to go and we're going to say, okay, so she's starting at age 62. We're going to go to retirement. We're going to go to cash flows. And we're going to say at 62 is $1,500 a month, which means it's $18,000 a year. Now these do have a cost of living adjustment. $18,000 a year is $18,468 the next year, $18,498 the following year. Now what's happening is because she has no spending, she's just literally reinvesting these things, and here's her net worth. Her qualified, non-qualified assets is $18,000 because she's getting $18,000 from Social Security and she's shuffling it on over to her savings account. It's growing at 3.36,000 the next year. That's her liquid net worth. 55,000 the following year, 75,000 the following year, and so on and so on. And what we're doing here is we're just adding. We have ending balance by accounts: 18,000, 36,000, 55,000. That is in her taxable savings, checking, investment account. In this case, it was a savings account. I'll share with you just a second. And here's the additions to accounts. She's adding whatever she's making from Social Security. So she's getting 18,000 of Social Security. Again, is being funneled to her savings account. 18,468 from Social Security is being funneled to her savings account. So again, if we go to ending balance, when she dies at 90 years old, her total net worth is $866,901 because she's not investing. It's just sitting in the savings account. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. If we go to investment, everything's in fixed income, which is I'm having it growing at 1% a year in cash is what it is. So it's growing at 1% a year. Remember, it's being dollar cost averaged as well. So every month. So what will confuse you if you say, well, Josh, I'm typing it in and I'm showing it growing at whatever, 1% or something like that, not the full 1%. Well, because $1,500 a month are going in. It's not all in one fell swoop. It's $1,500 a month that's going in on a monthly basis. So essentially, in the first year, it's not it'll basically give her 0.49% rate of return because she starts with zero. She adds 18,000. But the first $1,500 grows at essentially 1%. The next grows at 1% minus a month, and so on and so on. So just keep that in mind. All right. So let's go to the spreadsheet, and I'll show you here total net worth of her investments in her taking her Social Security at 62 and just reinvesting it in a savings account that's paying 1%. We already talked about it. Her total net worth in that regard is $866,000. All right, $866,000. But what if she took it at 66? Remember now, at 66, it said her Social Security payment would be $24,000, but it's not. Her Social Security payment with cost of living adjustments is $26,594. So if we may, let's go back to Right Capital, and we're going to show you what her income was at the age of 66. Oops, I want to go to retirement. Bear with me just a second. Go to retirement cash flows. At the age of 66, her Social Security here at 66 was $19,946 because that is her cost of living adjustment. It grew from 2.6% a year from $18,000 to $19,946. So let me take my trusty pen. We got $19,946 minus $18,000. All right, that gives her a growth of $1,946 is what she made over the course in terms of cost of living adjustments. What she made over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. But here we go to the spreadsheet. Remember, it said it was going to be $24,000 a year at 62 when she hit full retirement age, but it's actually $26,594. So we take $26,594 minus the $24,000 that her paper initially said. And that's actually $2,594 increase. Does that make sense? I cannot stress enough. So her benefit increased by $1,946 between the ages 62 to 66 when she took it at 62. So she got an extra $19,946 in that year. She increased her benefit by $1,946 for Social Security because she took it at $18,000 at 62. But if she deferred until she's 66, what was a $24,000 a year benefit because of cost of living adjustment is actually $2,594. So it's $26,594 a year. So she made $2,594 more by waiting because of cost of living adjustments for Social Security. And if we take the difference between the $2,594 that she made by waiting and the $1,946, her waiting not only did it pay her more on a monthly basis, but actually paid her more, $648 more a year, and it was only going to grow as she ages too. I hope that makes sense because there's a lot going on there. Now, remember, when she was 62 and she had her paper, it said Social Security would pay her $2,640 once she hit the age of 70. But that's not true. When she hits the age of 70, the cost of living adjustments doesn't pay her $2,640. It pays her 38900 divided by 12. It pays her 3,241. All right, so she was told it's 2,640. It's actually 3,241. 2640. So that means she's getting an extra $601 a month because of the cost of living adjustments. So the cost of living adjustments go we're talking significant difference here, my friends. 1946, she increased her benefit by 1946 for waiting from taking at 62 till she's 66. But it would actually, if she waited until she was 66 to take it, her benefit when she initially saw it was going to be $24,000, but it's actually instead $26,594, which is $2,600 difference. Her initial benefit said it would be 2640 times 12 is going to be 31,680, but it actually is 38,900, and that's the issue. You got to look at both ways. So if we look down, the total net worth here, if she took it at 62 with just basic cost of living adjustments at 2.6, according to the trustees report, and then reinvesting it in a savings account paying 1%, she had $866,000 of net worth. If she waited until she was 66, her full retirement age, everything else being the same, she'd have $1.025 million in net worth. If she waited until she was 70, and again, we have her dying at 90 years old, her net worth would be $1.17 million. So everything else being the same. But Josh, she has to earn income. I'm just comparing Social Security without anything else, no other noise, to just prove once and for all that delaying Social Security will net you more than you think because you're not including cost of living adjustments. Now, we're going to do another one where we invest this in an aggressive portfolio as well. We'll see how that shakes out. But so look at this. So we got the bolds here. So the net worth, if she were to die at age 75, it would have been more advantageous for her to take the Social Security early. Again, we're not including spouses. We're just saying at her death, she would have $318,000. She would have only had $312,000 if she died at 75, if she had taken Social Security at 66. And she'd only have $255,000 if she died at 75 if she had taken Social Security at 70. So again, proving once again, the earlier you see your demise, the more beneficial it will be to take Social Security early. Now, if she died at age 80, she'll have $513,000 to leave to her heirs if she had taken Social Security at 66, or full retirement age. If she had died at age 80, she'd only have $472,000 to leave to her heirs if she had taken Social Security at 62, and then she'd only have $511,000, basically $512,000 to leave to her heirs if she had taken at 70, if she died at age of 80. Does that make sense? So you can see the bold. She has 5 years where the bold is better for her to have taken. Bold just means that more net worth. So 5 years from age 76 to 80, she would have been better off if she died in that time, leaving it to her heirs. She'd have more of a net worth if she had delayed taking until she was 66, her full retirement age. Now, obviously, from 62 until 79, 62 until 75, she would have been better off taking it at 62, simply because she had more years for it to grow. I mean, that's all there is to it. So if you're going to die before 75, you'd want to take Social Security early. But we just knocked 3 years off of the break-even point that most people say. And the break-even point most people say is wrong. It doesn't include cost of living adjustments, and you have to include that. All right, but now if she lives beyond 80, she'll be much better off having taken Social Security at 70. There's just no two ways around this. And again, this is just investing it in a 1% bond, essentially, or a cash account, if you will. And no taxes, no nothing. But this proves once and for all, unequivocally, your break-even point is not 78, it's 75 because of the cost of living adjustments. There's no getting around that. So if she thinks she's going to live beyond 75, she should at least delay taking Social Security until her full retirement age. All right? All right, so let's pause there. We'll go on to a next one, and we're going to show you what it looks like if she invests this in an aggressive portfolio. So hang tight, click the like button, and watch the next video here in just a second.